Hey everyone, welcome back to the post-game press conference, 2023 Mason Cup Championship. We have the winning Mavericks here, head coach Mike Hastings, freshman Christian Fitzgerald, sophomore Zach Kranek. Before we get to questioning, Coach, would you please give a statement on the game?
I don't know exactly what to say other than, I just passed Grant, and I've been in those shoes before, and so unbelievable battle. I'm proud of the way the guys stuck with it. We found a way to get the first one, which I thought got the crowd into the game, and found a way to get the second one, and then Grudge from Borch makes a really big-time play coming into the zone, and we find ourselves moving on. So excited about this group staying together, finding about where we're going to be at in the tournament. But thank you for the people that took the time to come and get into the building tonight, because it was in an unbelievable environment, and just happy to be moving on.
All right, we'll now open up to questions. Please state your affiliation and name when you have a question for Coach, one of the players. Go ahead, Shane.
Shane Frederick from the Rank Live. Mike, where does this one rank in terms of craziness, 2019, 2022, 2023?
It's still pretty fresh, but it's crazy things happen in this building. Shane, you've been around for a few of them. And again, I thought the guys stuck with it. We lost Cillier for a while, where he couldn't play anymore, and asked Fitzy to move to the middle. And as he's done all year, he answered the bell. And it was like you said, it's crazy things happen in this building, and I'm glad we were able to play this game at home, because to me, I think that makes the difference tonight. The players play; they're the ones that decide the game. But I can't believe that we didn't draw some energy from the building itself. So fortunate.
And can I just ask another?
Go ahead.
Zach,
Go ahead.
if you could take us through that play in overtime and little spin move to get around a defender, and what goes through your head as you're making that play?
Yeah, fantastic play by Cade Borchert to get moving up the ice, and his vision's unbelievable. So I don't know how he saw me without looking out, but he did, and he made a fantastic pass back, and my goal was just to protect it and get it on net, and luckily it snuck through.
Jack Ettinger from USCHO. This one's for Coach, but for all of you too. Kind of trying to think back to that Michigan Tech game where you guys didn't score until maybe a little bit later in the game, but once you did, like you said, the crowd erupted, and it was sort of, I don't know if you thought it was sort of undeniable that you guys were going to go on and win, but you talked about it a little bit, just being in this building, having an advantage, but it just feels like whenever you guys are able to score big goals, once you do, the crowd gets behind you, and it's really hard to beat you guys. I don't know if you could talk about that a little bit. I don't know if that is a home ice advantage thing, or just or specific to this crowd, or just in general in hockey.
Go ahead, guys.
I think we've been resilient all year long. I think we've had a ton of up and downs, especially in the first half, and I think our team's really come together and gelled real well, and I think that's why I've been so successful late in games. Don't give up, and I think that's been a key component to our team.
Yeah, I think just the selflessness over the second half. I think we've grown together a lot in these last couple months, and there's nobody else I'd want to go to battle with than these guys. And it's been brewing for a while, but I think we're ready for this third season.
Tim Rapley.
Hey, Coach, it's Tim Rapley from Flow. In December, you had a really tough time scoring goals, despite having boatloads of shots. And it looked like the solution was you had to get to the blue paint, get some dirty goals, get some juicy goals. And your tying goals both came from very close to the blue paint. Is that part of the grand plan, to get into those dirty areas to score those goals? Is that the difference between now and December?
I think a little bit. For those people that watched college hockey last night, it's hard to score goals at this time of the year. Sometimes you need a bounce. Sometimes you need a guy to make a play. And we had a little bit of that tonight. Not a lot's been said about Keenan Rancier, and, they don't talk about the ones that didn't go in. And I thought he was a difference maker for us tonight because they never got the third one. And they had opportunities to get the third, and I thought he really stood tall, and that gave the guys the opportunity to get to the blue paint to make a difference. And goals are hard to come by right now, and we'll take them any way we can get them.
Kev?
For Zach, they killed the 5-on-3. That can be momentum, I think, in a lot of situations. But I think one of the hallmarks of your team the second half has been just resilience in all situations. We've seen you guys come back, come from behind so many times. What was the mood like on the bench after that 5-on-3 was killed?
I just don't think there was any panic. I think we all believed in each other and ourselves, and we knew that eventually if we kept getting shots at the net, that one had to go. And we would just, build off that. Like Simon Tassi throws one at the net, gets a lucky bounce, goes in. Fitzy makes a great play, and, we're back in this thing. So I think just sticking to what made us good through the second half. And, there was no selfishness or selfishness? Whatever. It was just selfless. Like none of the guys were bickering. It was a positive attitude on the bench, and it was just a fun environment to be around. And you definitely draw energy from the crowd. So once we got that first one, we knew that we had something going.
This one will be for Coach. The penalty, the power play penalty kill was one we talked about going in. They got the kill. You guys went 0 for 5. Maybe talk about their penalty kill, their job of just, I think, not giving you guys a lot. That was maybe one of the most impressive things I saw tonight, was just the way they defended.
Yeah, they were committed, is what I'd say from the first power play that we had. I did thought we had some pretty good looks. And when we did have the opportunity, I thought their goaltender was, a difference maker. But like I said, at the end of the day, you've got to find a way to get a couple by them. And we were fortunate to get a bounce, and they got the crowd into it. And a lot of respect for Northern. Knew that coming in, knew that it would be a battle because of what Grant and his staff and that team has done over the second half and the run that they were on.
We'll go Tim, then Shane.
Okay, I have one for both the student athletes. Christian, did you feel like a pinata out there? You took some unbelievable hits out there and had to respond. Did you think at any point your night was up? Because it looked like you separated shoulders, concussions. Who knew what was going on inside that uniform?
Yeah, I definitely wasn't gonna back out of that game, but that's all part of going to battle. I think you're gonna have to take a punch, and I guess it's how you respond with that. And there was no way I wasn't playing in that game.
And Zach, I looked at elite prospects, and you missed an entire season of hockey 2 years ago, and now you find yourself in this place. Are you pinching yourself? Is this amazing what you've done in the year and a half?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I blacked out after that goal. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, it's just being able to come here and have confidence instilled in me by the coaches, the staff, the players. Like it's surreal to think about, like how I wasn't playing hockey 2 years ago, and now, we're moving on. Like it's just surreal.
Do you guys mind if I jump in one more with the coach?
Go for it.
Coach, I've seen you in South Bend, Indiana, getting the raw deal. I saw you in Providence getting the raw deal. You said it's kind of a cruel game. You saw the opposing coach take a cruel one. Can you give us some perspective about some of those intense highs and lows?
Game's crazy. It just really is. And sometimes it pays you back in a good way, and the other ones are learning experiences. It's amazing as you get a little older in this game. I want to make sure we enjoy this one because we're going to have to turn the page in a hurry and get prepared for whoever we're playing. But I thank the guys in the locker room for taking us along for the ride tonight and really what they've done over here in the second half. But this game will humble you, and it always does.
For the players, and then Coach, if you can respond to this afterwards. So just, with you two sitting up here, and obviously Christian, you've had a great playoff run, but you're kind of developing into, a role where you're really being counted on. And Zach, you score a massive goal tonight in a game where your top player goes down. You just talk a little bit about what that's like for you guys to move up in terms of responsibility on this team and on this roster when you have, other players that you guys have all deferred to many other times in your leadership group.
Yeah, I think every day we go to work and practice, and I think everybody's such a key component to this team. I wouldn't say that. Sorry, I blanked out a bit. Can you repeat your question?
Well, really, just the way the second half has gone and the playoffs have gone for you, and probably more so overall for you, but Zach too, just taking on that responsibility that you have. You're not a rookie anymore, so to speak, or you're not really a freshman anymore at the end of your freshman year, as coaches love to say, post January 1st.
But sorry, yeah. So what I was saying in practice, I think everybody goes to work every day, and I think it kind of instills in us that anybody's got to be ready when their name's called upon. And I think that's what's been so big for us in the second half of the season. We've had guys step up in different roles, and I think that's what's leading to our success.
Yeah, I think it's just the whole next man up attitude. Like, we're all here for a reason. Like, everybody is a fantastic hockey player here. Like, if somebody's having an off game, like, we're going to have guys step up. So I think just, like, the responsibilities gained from, like I said before, your teammates and the coaches having confidence in you. And, like, as you're playing, better hockey, like, you just, you feel better. Like, you just, it all comes down to confidence. Like, if coach didn't have the confidence in me and didn't, have me be responsible either for good things or bad things, like, I'm not going to get where I want to be.
Anyone else?
Coach, you have a comment on that?
Yeah, they're just they're honest, everydayers, and they're okay being held accountable. It's great to be sitting in a passenger seat right now and see these two guys in this moment have the impact they had for the program, because there's been a lot of work that they've put in. And I'm proud of both of them, just like their teammates are, because they couldn't have picked a bigger stage to go ahead and show their worth. But there's been a lot of work that they've put in, and I'm happy for both of them.
Last question.
Coach, for Zach, I think some people may look at the box score tonight and see stats and say, that's a more guy who doesn't have the points. But for those of us who have watched, I think we've seen his ascension up the depth chart, up the pecking order. We've seen you use him in different situations. Series at Arizona stands out as a really good one where I thought he wowed. Just talk about his second half and kind of his rise up the pecking order.
Well, he's just earned it. When we talk about everydayers, what's he do Monday through Thursday? He's bought his time. He forced me into moving him up the lineup just because of his play, and he's coachable. I think he's somebody that the guys respect tremendously because he's had to do it the hard way, from out of the lineup to into the lineup to climbing the ladder. As far as his role, he's killing penalties for us. When David went down, I went to him and said, hey, you're going to be in that spot in the power play. And, if we're going to be on the power play, and it didn't faze him at all. He's put the work in, and he's okay being held accountable. And, I'm glad he's wearing our jersey.
All right, Tim, actual last one.
Coach, after Celia got blasted, David tried to give it a go from one of your power plays. I think that might have been his last shift. Was there any communication you had with him when he finally decided that was it for his night?
No, at the end of the day, I'm blessed to have a medical group around me with OFC and with the doc that was on call here, and Matt Schmidt's unbelievable. I've got 100% trust in him to make sure that he's doing what's best for the players. And so he's the one that told me, David, he tried it a little bit and then went back in, and if we're going to err on one thing, we're going to err on the health and care of the student athletes. So that was the doc and Matt Schmidt, and behind it 100%.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
We're all
you.
set
Thank you.
here. That'll conclude the 2023 Mason Cup Championship press conference. I want to thank our host, Minnesota State, for setting all this up and providing a great championship experience for our student athletes. Thank you.